Hi mathematicians, so I reckon you can do questions 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 independently. Let's have a look at question 6. 6.3 subtract 0.56. So remember, you need to make sure your decimal points are lined up. So 6.3 subtract, the 0 needs to be in the ones column, 0.56. And remember, because there's a space there, you can put a placeholder, which is a 0. So 0 subtract 6, you can't do, so you need to exchange. Cross off the 2, that 3, that becomes a 2, and then this 0 is a 10. 10 subtract 6 is 4, and you may continue the calculation. Question 7. 6,010 subtract 509. So remember, when you're doing this calculation, make sure that you present it carefully in the correct column. So 6,010 subtract 5,009. Make sure the ones are in the same column, the tens are in the same column, and the hundreds are in the same column. 0 subtract 9, you can't do, so exchange. So cross off the 1, that becomes a 0. This 0 is now a 10. 10 subtract 9 is 1. 0 subtract 0 is 0, so you can carry on the calculation. Question 8. 3 1/3 2 times. So what is 3 1/3? So at the moment, that's a mixed number. We need to convert it into an improper fraction. So do you remember in class, we multiply the denominator and add the numerator. So 3 times 3 is 9, add the 1 is 10. So we've got 10 thirds 2 times. So 10 thirds 2 times is the same as doing 10 thirds, add 10 thirds. So what is your answer there? 10 thirds add 10 thirds is what? Or 10 thirds 2 times is what? Question 9. 3 cubed add 13. So what is 3 cubed? So if it's a cubed number, you multiply it by itself 3 times. So 3 cubed is 3 times 3 times 3. So work out 3 times 3 and then times that answer by 3. And then add 13. And what is your answer? So question 10. 800 multiplied by 4. What is 8 multiplied by 4? And then make it 100 times bigger. Question 11. 5,785 divided by 5. So it's asking how many 5s are in 5,785. So how many 5s are in 5 is 1. How many 5s are in 7 is 1, remainder 2. How many 5s in 28? And continue. Question 12. 5 add 3 multiplied by 6. Because there's addition and multiplication in the same calculation, you need to apply BODMAS. So BODMAS means brackets, O is orders, which is your square and your cube numbers, division and multiplication, and then addition and subtraction. So this is the order that you have to calculate the calculation. So, are there any brackets in this calculation? No. Are there any square numbers or cube numbers in that calculation? No. Are there any division or multiplication? Yes. So, 3 multiplied by 6. What is 3 multiplied by 6? And then the last one you need to do is addition and subtraction. So then find that calculation and then add the 5. There's your answer. Question 13. 71 multiplied by 63. So, do you remember we did this last week where we covered up the 6? 1 times 3 is 3. 7 times 3 is 21. Now we cover up the 3. But as we cover up the 3, we need to put our placeholder in, our 0. 6 times 1 is 6. 7 times 6 is 42. And then add these together. Question 14. I need a bit of space for this one, I think. So, question 14. 3,451 divided by 17. So it's asking how many 17s are in 3,451. So, because it's a 2-digit number, we in class have been using the starburst method. So, here you need to write out your starburst. So what is 1 17? 17. What are 2 17s? So 17 of 17 is 34. What are 10 17s? Well, there's 17. Multiply it by 10, 170. What are 100 17s? Well, there's 10 17s, 170. Multiply it by 10 again, 1,700. What are 50 17s? Half of that. So you can do your 1,700 divided by 2. What are 5 17s? Once you've done your starburst here, you can then start subtracting these chunks of 17s. So I'm going to start off with subtracting 1,700, which is 100 17s. Remember to write the number in the column here. So 1 subtract 0 is 1, 5 subtract 0 is 5, 4 subtract 7 you can't do, so exchange. 14 subtract 7 is 7, 2 subtract 1 is 1. So now I can subtract another chunk. I can subtract another 100 17s, which is 1,700. And you may continue. Question 15. 2 3/4 add 4/5. Now, when you're adding fractions, you have to make sure that the denominators are the same. So here, they are not the same, so we have to make them the same. So, but before we make the denominators the same, we need to convert the 2 3/4 from a mixed number into an improper fraction. So 2 times 4 is 8, add the 3 is 11, so there we've got 11/4. And then add the 4/5. So the denominators aren't the same still, so you need to make sure they are. So what is the common factor here? So can we make quarters into fifths? No. Can we make fifths into quarters? No. So we have to make the denominators different in both cases. So what would be the equivalent fraction that we could use here? So 4 and 5 are both factors of 20. So if we make our denominators 20, so what do you multiply 4 by to get to 20? 4 multiplied by 5 is 20. If you multiply the denominator by 20, you have to multiply the numerator by 20. So 11 times 5 is 55, so write your 55 there. Fifths into 20ths, what do? So you multiply it by 4, so you multiply the numerator by 4. So 4 times 4 is, you tell me, write your answer there. And now the denominators are the same, you can now solve the calculation and the answer will be in 20ths. Excuse me. Question 16. 4/5 divided by 3. Because we're dividing fractions here, we have to apply what we've been learning in class, KFC. It's where we keep the first fraction, 4/5. We flip the second fraction, so this is 3/1. So flip the 3/1 is 1/3, and then change the operation. So instead of dividing, you multiply. With multiplying fractions, you could just multiply the numerator and multiply the denominator. Well done. Question 17. .03 multiplied by 1,000. So there's a couple of ways of doing this. You can use your place value grid. So your 6.03, and you're going to multiply it by 1,000. So we're going to move the digit each digit 3 places, and because it's multiplying, the number gets bigger. So therefore we are moving the digits this way. So pick up the 6 and move it 3 places. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Put your 6 there. Pick up the 0, move it 3 places. 1, 2, 3. Put your 0 there. Pick up the 3, move it 3 places. 1, 2, 3. Because the decimal point is here, you need your placeholder there. So there's your answer. Some of you would prefer to move the decimal point 3 places. So remember, the number gets bigger, so the decimal point is moved this way 3 places. So I'm going to rub that out and move the decimal point 3 places. 1, 2, 3. And then the placeholder becomes there, appears there. And then question 18, last question. Well done, everyone. 25% of 358. Well, that 25%, we can do 2 lots of 10%. Oh, that's a percent symbol. And then a 5%, which is half of a 10%. So first of all, what is 10% of 358? So some of you would know that the decimal point of a whole number is here. 10% is move the decimal point 1 place, so 35.8. Some of you would prefer to use your place value grid. 358 divided by 10, so there's the decimal point, divided by 10, move the digits 1 place, so 35.8. So that's 10%. 20% is 2 lots of 10%, and then 5% is half of 35.8. So to do that, divide by 2. So 35.8. How many 2s are in 3? Is 1 remainder. 1. How many 2s are in 15? Is 7 remainder. 1. Don't forget your decimal point there. How many 2s are in 18? Is 9. 17.9. So there you go. You've got your 10%, 10%, 5%. Add them together and that will be 25%. Well done, everybody.